Hey guys, it's Old Man G here back again with another Red Devil Studio live podcast, and I'm joined by, introduce yourselves.
Shawnee, how's it going?
Yeah.
Awesome, and basically we're bringing obviously another podcast on this channel. So for the next 2 weeks, we're going to be doing Champions League and Europa League match previews. So we're going to be previewing about 6-7 teams on this podcast. More than that, actually. It'll be 6-7 matches, on this podcast. And then we'll be previewing the remainder next week before the Champions League starts in the build up to the return of the Champions League and the Europa League. So before we get into it, if you're new to the channel, please like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Follow us on Twitter, United X. Smash that like button and that notification button for the latest Manchester United and now European football news. So let's quickly get straight into it because obviously we've got a lot to cover. We're going to start with Athletico Madrid versus Liverpool. I think this is an interesting one. This is an interesting one, and you essentially have, in my opinion, you have two teams of different fortunes. You have Liverpool, who are essentially undefeated in the league all season, who are the Champions League, who are the winners in a sense. We are Champions winners, and they're playing against an Atletico Madrid team who, while invested heavily in the summer, just aren't performing this year. So we'll go to the designated Liverpool fan in Shawnee. What do you expect from this game, Shawnee?
Yeah, just I want Liverpool to be on their guard because at the end of the day, Atletico, they have dropped down the table a little bit, and I think they're on 36 points while Real Madrid, right at the top of the table, are almost on 50. So I want Liverpool to go out there, play their normal game, but just be on their guard. Control the pace of the game. Make sure you don't get hit on the brakes. That's exactly how they're going to set themselves up. I think everyone who faces Liverpool nowadays are just going to set themselves up to hit us on the brake to see if they can snatch that goal. So I just want them to be on guard because they are still a quality team, and with Atletico being so far away from the top spot, I think they're just going to concentrate on getting themselves in the Champions League and concentrate on in terms of the league. And the Champions League is something that they're just going to be going for because the manager's going to be like saying, look, listen, our fans are going to be expecting us to do well here. I know that they're going up against the potential Premier League champions, the English champions, but let's give them a good fight, a good run. And that's always, if a manager says that to the players, it's almost like a free hit to say, look, listen, let's just give it our best shot. And that's dangerous because it relaxes you. And that can be dangerous. So they need to be on their guard. But I am expecting us to push through. I think just we're in the form of our lives right now. I'm expecting to just see that power in us going forwards. I mean, I always use Klopp's phrases. He always uses the word power. So just expecting lots of power in our play, and just control the game and play it out. Play both legs out, and even if the score isn't huge, that the aggregate is 2 or 3-0 at the end.
Joshie, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, we always know how Atletico play.
Is that the problem? Is that the problem? Because there's been a lot of talk about that Diego Simeone should basically leave because he hasn't involved Atletico Madrid style, and despite heavy investment in the summer, they're worse off than this season. Is the reason why Liverpool will win this game because Liverpool have evolved, but Atletico Madrid haven't evolved?
Pretty much. I mean, styles make fights. Liverpool have always been really, really attacking. I mean, the only time I guess you could say they were a bit more compact in sort of defense first was under Rafa. That was probably the only time you could see that. And so I wouldn't say Liverpool's style has changed that much. Just their defense has got better. You know, they were quite. You know, Klopp sort of brung the proper heavy metal, but you know, Brendan Rodgers was a kind of attack minded first. He almost won the league, should have won the league. The only difference is the amazing defense and the amazing coaching in that defense as well. So yeah, styles make fights, and you know, if Atletico score first, it could be a tricky one. But I don't see anybody beating Liverpool over 2 legs. Nobody. No, I don't think anybody. After what they did to Barcelona, who, even if you win the first leg, how can you be like this team's just going to drop down, and you know what I mean? This team's going to drop down and lay on the floor for us. It's not going to happen with Liverpool. So I think I don't think it's going to be the most exciting tie. But
well,
I think
the first leg is that Atletico Madrid. Is that
yeah. I mean, if Liverpool get an away goal, the tie's over. Just that's it.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter if Atletico are 3-1 up. If Liverpool get an away goal, the tie's over. So yeah.
Barcelona learned from that.
Well, so you don't. Well, okay. So let's give us some Madrid out, because obviously they have, you know, they have. You can list off the Atletico players. Obviously, João Felix is there. You know, Diego Costa's still there. Koke's still there. Son Niguez is there. Trippier is there.
Make no mistake about it. Quality team. Make no mistake about it. Very, very quality team.
Why is it that they've not been able to click? Why is it that we're saying that they're a quality team, but we're then saying, but Liverpool are going to basically just dismantle them? You know, are we not giving Atletico Madrid a chance at all?
Well, like I say, I still have that cautiousness in me, thinking to myself, if they want, they could turn up because they have the quality to turn up. I think that Liverpool need to be on their guard. They need to make sure that they don't get hit on the break, because that's exactly, you know, that's how they're going to set themselves up. And you just need to make sure that you keep all them big names quiet, and just control the game, play it out. And like I say, we don't need big, massive scores. We just need to come away with 2 good results. And if we go to Atletico and we get a 1-0, that is probably the best result that you could possibly hope for. And then bring that back to Anfield. Once again, just make sure they don't hit you on the counter, because they could easily score an away goal as well. And then just make sure that you just control them, look out for the breaks, and just control the game, see it out. So no mistake about it. Very, very quality team. You just listed off, you know, players with absolutely huge potential. It hasn't clicked for them in the league. They are still 6th. You know, if they get a win, they're sort of back to hovering around that 4th spot in and around Sevilla. So, you know, it's not like they've dropped off massively. It's just that maybe over the last 3 games, the results have gone against them. I don't know who they played, by the way, but it might have been that there was like a couple of I don't know, like a couple of big players didn't turn up in them games, and they didn't get a result, because I think over the last couple of games they got is it 2 losses and a draw, I think, over the last 3 games.
Yes, I think so. Yeah,
so like they dropped off a little bit, but they still have the quality there to hurt you. So cautious.
So for the first leg, so we'll preview the second leg separately. Score predictions. This is obviously away. Liverpool will be playing away at the Metropolitano. Joshy, score predictions for this?
I think 2-1 Liverpool.
Okay.
Yeah. I think this is probably going to be their hardest tie as well.
Atletico Madrid. Okay.
In terms of like, it's not going to be pretty. It's going to be a grind, but I think it's probably going to be their toughest challenge up until the final.
Yeah,
up until the final.
You know what? I have a feeling now, calling it on this podcast, I have a feeling that it might be a Dortmund-Liverpool final, because Dortmund have just massively picked it up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Haaland just absolutely banging goals in left, right, and centre. He's just done what a steal, what a player that fella could potentially become. And Dortmund, even though still conceding, just overwhelming teams in the Bundesliga now. And I think I I mean, PSG still have an incredible strike force, but I can see them beating PSG and just bumbling through to the final with them buys in January. They've done some really, really good business. Could I say potentially Dortmund did the best business?
I think I agree.
Rivaling Inter, I'll give you that one, definitely.
Yeah.
I agree. Oh, hello, Rasmus. Shout out to Rasmus A in the chat. Appreciate it. So get your questions in. We are doing, say, Champions League, Europa League preview. So that's obviously Atletico Madrid versus Liverpool. We'll put that to one side. Now I think we'll move on to what I think is probably we should hopefully be the tastiest tie, and that is PSG versus Dortmund. This is the one that I think is going to be very, very intriguing. And I'll get this up because where is it? PSG versus Dortmund. Is it this one? Oh no, that's Spurs. So anyway, that's not the. Give me 2 seconds. I'll stop you.
Get that out of here.
We'll talk about it. We'll start talking about it anyway. So, but PSG versus Dortmund, guys. What do you?
Pardon me. Yeah.
I spoke about it there. I just, like I say, just spoke about it there. I don't know whether they're just going to be whether Dortmund's going to be too much for them now. It's not like PSG are a bad side or anything. That's not what I'm saying. It's just that I think Dortmund have the tools that they need to beat PSG. And even though PSG still have one of the best attacks in the world at the minute, and they could by any means they could also knock Dortmund out. It's just that I have a feeling that Dortmund, with the momentum that they've built in the Bundesliga through the business that they've had in January, they're a wrecking ball right now in the Bundesliga.
PSG strike force though, Shawnee. I mean, we're talking Neymar, Mbappe, and Icardi. I mean, come on, so like if you're talking a strike force that has Mbappe, Neymar, and Icardi, you can't really.
Definitely have the potential. Definitely have the potential to knock Dortmund out. No mistake about it. But I got to admit, I'm only going by feeling. This is just a feeling that I'm having. Like they've picked up the momentum in the Bundesliga. They've got lots and lots of confidence about them right now. I think Dortmund are more looking forward to the tie than PSG is. I think that right now they're thinking to themselves, "Wow, we're blowing teams away here, guys. Let's give PSG a good run for their money, especially when they come home to Dortmund." I think if they beat them at home, if they get like a 1-0 or 2-0 win at home, or even like you'd fancy PSG to go through if PSG get an away goal, but if they then go over to PSG, I think Dortmund are they're gonna fancy themselves. They're gonna be like, look, listen, we're a wrecking ball. We've done well here. Let's just smash these guys. But yeah, absolutely no mistake about it. PSG, massive team. Huge to beat. Don't forget, Man United did a number on them.
They did do a number on them. They did.
Yeah, Man United fans will never let you.
Yeah. Dare I say? I mean, it's controversial on the Man United channel. I do think Dortmund have a better team than Man United right now.
I don't think that's controversial. I think that's fact. It's just the key thing for me with Dortmund has always been it's just that their defense I just don't think is good enough. Oh, shout out to Don Ragnar, by the way. Don Ragnar says Dortmund are my favorite team to watch at the moment. Yeah, they play really, really good football. I think for me, the fear with Dortmund, with their manager, is just that they're just their defense. I just don't trust Hummels, and I forget the guy who's next to him.
I think there's Zagadou and there's Akanji, but Akanji might be injured.
But he's injured. You're right. So I just think they're suspect. I think if you have, like you said, a front three of Mbappe, Neymar, and Icardi, back too, because PSG's defense is not that bad. They only conceded, I think, maybe twice in group stages. So,
absolutely.
And bearing in mind that the first game is obviously at Dortmund. If Mbappe or Neymar score 1 or 2 goals, for me, I think the tie it could be over.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Like I say, made no mistake about it. I'm still I'm very admirable about their front three. Brilliant front three. Neymar, like everyone really hates Neymar. I still think personally he's one of the most skillful talents to watch out there. I really enjoy watching him. He got a yellow card, I think, just lately because he got done for showboating. He got a yellow card for showboating, I think.
Is he injured? Someone told me he's injured again or something.
I've not heard of that.
Is he? Because where is it? Neymar? Or maybe he's not injured. I thought like because he went out for like he celebrates his 28th party, like he had 28th birthday, lavish 28th birthday party, and then apparently injured the following day or something like that. So, yeah, because it's like you can see the picture of the BBC Sport, like they're all like it's like some sort of white suit themed party or something like that. So
yeah, right.
Icardi and Cavani and Di Maria and Verratti and all their mates are just basically just doing something or other. And then it says they got injured the following day. So fingers crossed. It's becoming a regular joke now that he basically the Champions League comes up and then he just ends up getting injured. And it's like, no point in you scoring tons of goals in like the Farmers League if when it comes to that you can't deliver there. Don Magnus says Manchester United versus Dortmund. The beating United would get could be expressed as a gif of Ollie getting repeatedly slapped with rat. No doubt about that. It's but you never know. You never know. Maybe Igalo might be the savior for Manchester United. Let's talk another day. So let's look at let's quickly just go for like score predictions actually. So we'll start with Joshua. What are your score predictions for this game?
So obviously it's at Dortmund, and like normally having an away tie is obviously a good thing. In this case, going to that yellow wall, like in the form that they're in right now, I would say it's like a disadvantage. Like it would almost be an advantage PSG playing home first, if that makes sense. Because Dortmund haven't lost since they. I can't remember last time they lost. I mean, it was definitely before Haaland came, and they're scoring 5 goals a game, 4 goals a game in the Bundesliga. And the Bundesliga is no, as we can see from this year, the Bundesliga is no just pushover league. Everyone's giving it a go. So honestly, I think Dortmund are going to win the first leg. I think they're going to overwhelm PSG. Obviously, Haaland, the new rule is players you signed, they can play in the Champions League. They're not cup tied or anything like that, even if they've played in the Champions League. So which obviously that means Tyler can play. But yeah, I just think honestly, I think Dortmund are going to overwhelm them.
Dortmund will overwhelm PSG.
That's what I think. I think PSG might.
This is because this is the thing. Sorry, Don Magnus says 2-0 Dortmund and Haaland Drago. This is a serious thing for PSG because the last 3 seasons, this is a team that they've spent millions on players. They've got what is deemed to be a world-class squad. Thomas Tuchel's their manager, and in the last 3 seasons, they would have been knocked out in the round of 16 if Dortmund beat PSG here. Surely that's that can't be right. If he loses against Dortmund, Tuchel will be sacked. Surely.
Yeah, he's got to be, hasn't he?
Because
he's got to be.
You can't. You were knocked out in the round of 16 by United, and the previous year was the previous year Madrid, I think. And then was Barcelona in that sort of 6-0, Camp Nou, whatever it was, a miracle, So I just think it's just bad that like every single year we come to PSG do well in the group stage, and then we come back to them, and it's like, no, they're not going to go any further. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's bad. It's bad.
And it's funny because I'm sure once they drew Dortmund, because Dortmund, of course, Dortmund are a good team, but Dortmund really struggled in the Champions League. They barely got out of that group, and I'm sure they were thinking, okay, this is probably going to be our year.
Yeah.
But then Erling Haaland turns up out of nowhere and just decides to turn on the Jets, and I don't think he's played 90 minutes yet of football, but has scored like 7 goals. So
the key, I think, the key of Haaland is, and what I'm not trying to, what you're saying, Josh, is that he's the goals he's scored have been against not big teams. You know what I mean? So I think the question is,
against Liverpool.
He did score against Liverpool, yes, although they still lost that game. But I think the question is, can he step up, and score, a hat-trick, for example, against the sort of PSG side, especially given strengthening in other areas of PSG.
I genuinely think players like Jadon Sancho, Erling Haaland, Julian Brandt. There's just so many players in that Dortmund team who are young, but like they're almost like game winners. There's so many, and obviously Marco Reus is back just in time because he's always injured. And for me, when Marco Reus plays, like I know they're doing well, with just Haaland and stuff like that coming off the bench, but Marco Reus is like a leader. He's obviously the captain, and I feel like they play better with him no matter what, even if you think he's not as good as he's not as dynamic as a Sancho, or he's not as good as a goal scorer as a Haaland. Like they always play better with him in the side. I remember the game, I think it was last season, where they beat Bayern Munich, and he was in the side, and he'd been injured for ages before that. And for me, he although they have the Haalands and Sanchos and etc., I think he's the difference. So, even if he plays for 60 minutes, if they keep Marco Reus fit, I think they've got a very good chance of going like all the way to the final. A very good player. But yeah,
cool. Shout out to Kelly Welly, Man U Heart. Yeah, we are a Manchester United fan channel, and it pains me that I can't talk about Manchester United in the Champions League, because I would have loved to have done regular United Champions League previews, but that is coming because we are going to be going for top 4 this season.
She's Sport United.
Unfortunately, Kelly Welly is now...
Ignore Tamisha. Josh Cornforth, shout out to Manu as well. Thank you, bro. Thank you so much. Don
Bunch of filthy animals on here tonight.
Don Ragnar says, can Haaland become the new Zlatan? People say he has a similar self-confidence and pranks behave in the dressing room. That's fair enough. I think that's a bold statement. But it's quite possible, So he's 19. I just think we're 19-year-olds. Same thing with Ansu Fati, because FC Terra Complicato, shout out to you, bro. So shout out. Check out his channel as well, actually. Ansu over. It's just this Ansu over when he is Ansu Fati is someone, and when we preview Barcelona next week, that is a player that I'm going to be speaking a lot about, because frankly, with Suarez injured and Griezmann being hit or miss, that's the type of player that might end up ironically saving Barcelona in this tie. And Kelly with Liverpool, yeah, thumbs down. I agree. Unfortunately, Kamisho here, Shawnee is a Liverpool fan, and they are currently the Champions League holders, so it just is what it is. Anyway, let's just quickly move on. So obviously give your score predictions in the comments as well. Thank you everyone for watching. We're going to move on to the third game, and that is Tottenham Hotspur versus Leipzig. Mourinho against a German team, a Leipzig team that was sailing, you could argue, but is now, I think, started to stutter a little bit, I think is reasonable to say.
Yeah.
They're not, Bayern have sort of coming back on force. What do you see here, guys? Because Spurs, I can't call this one. I really can't give this to you, Josh first. What do you think? Because Spurs are so unpredictable right now. Leipzig are quite unpredictable right now. So who's the favorite here? Josh?
Do you want me to answer first?
Yeah. Okay, Sean, go for it.
Yeah. So I don't really know who would be the favourite because in terms of it is true Leipzig have fallen away a little bit, but it's not.
Spurs went all the way. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah.
Sorry, did you want to answer it, or are you?
There must be something wrong with his mic.
Is there something wrong with his mic? I'll keep answering
Okay,
then.
go on, Sean.
So yeah, like obviously Spurs aren't massively doing the business in the Premier League. It was a huge result for them, obviously, when they beat just this weekend gone. But I mean, City are sort of up and down in the league anyway. So I don't know whether that's it's a massive result for Spurs because it really, really boosted them. I think didn't they go above Man United and Sheffield United with that result?
They did, yes, they did. Then Tottenham are now fifth.
Fifth.
Yes.
Wow.
So then Sheffield United, and then
So they're gaining a little bit of confidence, gaining a little bit of momentum. Tottenham, Leipzig are about the same as that as well. They've got a few losses under their belt. They've got a few draws, got a few wins. So it's going to be a hard one to call. I think they're actually completely even. So I think Leipzig have had 1 loss, 2 draws, and 2 wins. And if I'm not mistaken, Tottenham have had exactly the same. So I don't know whether there is a favourite. It's just 2 teams that are fairly evenly matched. Which kind of shows the class of the Premiership, because you've got Leipzig, who are second in the Bundesliga, that are evenly matched with a team that's 5th in the Premier League. So Leipzig is still a force to be reckoned with. They were top 4 for a while. It's not like they're a million miles off. They're only a point behind. They can easily pick it up and keep challenging, rivaling Bayern. It's just that Bayern are just absolutely on fire right now. So I don't know. I wouldn't personally pick a favourite. I reckon it's just going to be an interesting game. Tottenham have started to pick up a little bit of momentum. They can use that City result to their advantage. Just like say, look, we've got a new player in our team who's really up for scoring a few goals, and let's just get him. Let's just go at him. It's going to be a fun game, I think. I wouldn't like to call the score. Who's playing who first? Is it Tottenham away or Tottenham at home?
Tottenham will be at home because Tottenham didn't top their group. So Spurs are at home first, and then Leipzig will be away. Josh Compton actually says Spurs got the result against City, which is fair enough. Although I still think that Mourinho was incredibly lucky to get that result. Can they carry that attacking force to Leipzig? I think it'll be interesting to see how this Bergwijn character, this Bergwijn forward plays. If he's the guy who we think he is, then he could potentially be, obviously because Harry Kane's injured. If you have him as the focal point, and then you're playing, Son and Lucas Moura at the wings, then possibly Spurs have got a chance. It's just that I think that it's strange in a way, because a part of me is like, I wonder if Pochettino was in charge of this team, because for me it's clearly obvious that Harry Kane does not fit in the Spurs squad, and that Eriksen wanted to leave. So now that Eriksen is gone, and now they've got the investment, I just feel that if Pochettino had this squad now, he could do a lot with this squad, because now they've got a forward, I think, who can really, do things, So depending on how Bergwijn plays, maybe they've got a chance.
Back, guys.
Oh, yeah. So Spurs versus Leipzig.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a sleeper game. It's going to be a really good game, this one. Obviously, Leipzig with the young manager who's younger than Messi. I think he's an exciting guy. Obviously, this Leipzig team, they've got some stars in there. They're definitely built like a team as well. I saw a couple of their games where they've been behind, I think even the game which got them through, which made them top of the group, they were down in that game as well. I can't remember who they played now, but they won that game, and then I think Lyon drew, so that those teams ended up going through. And so, to finish top.
Just to give Shawnee some, it looks like Liverpool ahead 1-0.
Yeah.
So first.
Williams scored, yeah.
Yeah, to finish.
So, but anyway, go on, Josh.
To finish top of a group in a Champions League stage is no easy feat. It doesn't matter what team group you're in. I mean, unless you're Man City, because then you get like Shakhtar and Dynamo Zagreb and other teams which are, anyway. But yeah, Spurs. We've seen the debate with people saying whether they're better with Kane or better without him. They've signed a forward, which is good, so they address some problems, and then I think Son plays through the middle. So there's always going to be goals there still. We'll see if that Bergwijn can play decent. He's had experience before. He played for PSG. Obviously, the Dutch league is a lot different, but he's had Champions League experience. So it's going to be an interesting one. Spurs' defense for me is still quite shaky. Although Tanganga has definitely improved the defense. I mean, I don't know where they got him from. Was he academy player?
Yeah, he's an academy player.
Yeah, so I mean,
obviously,
I think he's played right back, he's played centre back, he's played left back, he's played everywhere.
It's funny because people keep on saying Mourinho doesn't do youth, but in the last obviously Manchester United, he was the one that focused on McTominay, and McTominay's turned out to be pretty solid. Yeah. And now he's a Tanganga guy, and it's so I just think that Mourinho seems to it's more attitude. Mourinho seems to only tolerate certain young players with a specific attitude. If they have a I'm not interested attitude type of thing, then it's well, sorry, see you later type of thing. So but go on. So before we move on.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a good tie. So I don't know my prediction. Mm-hmm.
Score predictions. Yeah, let's go with score predictions.
I think 1-1 to play it safe.
1-1.
I can't really see.
Yep.
Can I see Spurs putting 2 past Leipzig? I'm not sure.
What about you?
1-1.
Yeah, I'll go maybe a little more exciting. I'll go for a bit of a thriller, and I'll say 2-2. Maybe Spurs going up first with an early Son goal and Dele Alli goal, and then Leipzig coming back in the second half. Bit of a thriller, 2-2.
Okay, fair enough. Right, okay, moving on to a game that's maybe a bit more, people are maybe a bit more not as interested. So I say that. Atalanta, Josh Comfort says Spurs 1, Leipzig 0. Fair enough. Atalanta versus Valencia. I mean, these two teams seriously got I think the best draw that they could have for both of those teams. Is that reasonable to say? I think if you're Atalanta, you're realistically, out of all the teams in the last 16, in terms of a team that we could beat, Valencia, and likewise Valencia with Atalanta. The fact they both drawn each other is pretty amazing.
It's true.
I'm not gonna lie. I have not really followed Atalanta or Valencia that much this season. I'm not. So I know Atalanta are hovering around 6. In fact, I'll just get the league up while you guys discuss. But what do you think is going to be the outcome of this game?
I don't know, because Atalanta are a weird team. Last year in the Serie A, they were the highest scoring. I think they finished the highest scoring Serie A team last year, and I think they ended up 3rd. So they've got a guy called Ilicic and from Slovakia, maybe somewhere like that, and he's just a beast. He doesn't stop scoring in the Serie A. He's been there for a while, and they have these these few players who can just turn on the gas. Atalanta hadn't won a game until, what was it, the last day? I think they drew 1 or drew 2. I can't remember. They were the only team to have never won a game up until the last day and then qualify in the Champions League, which just shows you. But you know, it might that for some people
Well,
that might
now, to be fair, I've just gone the Serie A table. They are fourth. They are on 39 points, the same number of points as Roma.
Yeah.
But 10 points behind Lazio. So they're not sort of that top three is an interesting race in of itself. But
yeah, there's a big gap there.
They're not away from everything. So whereas if you compare that to Valencia and the Liga, Valencia also, I'd argue, are quite a strange. They're now, I think, Valencia fifth. They've got 37 points. They're 2 points behind Sevilla in fifth place, but they're ahead of Athletico Madrid. So in theory, Valencia's La Liga form has been much better than Athletico Madrid's form. So,
and you could always say, I mean, there's not much of a quality difference in the teams, really, if you think about it. Valencia and Atalanta, they're both kind of similarly matched. So I wouldn't know how to call this one. I guess it's just
game,
who turns up more on the day.
Yeah. I think Atalanta for me.
Atalanta for you.
Yeah.
So why do you think Atalanta again? Sorry.
I think their strike force is better. Their defenses are pretty bad.
Well, Valencia have Rodrigo, don't they? I think. Rodrigo.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. I just think Ilicic, Gomez, I think they're a bit stronger. They've even got Uriel on the bench. I think Valencia have a bit of an aging side too. Parejo's still there. I don't know, he's been there ages. Their defense, I know they got Gabriel Paulista, who it's funny, Martin Keown was like, he's better than anything that we have now. Before Arteta came and he was probably just angry. But he kind of wasn't wrong either, because I thought he was really good. But yeah, I think over 2 legs, Atalanta will get this. But in the first leg, I think it's just going to be a 1-1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about you, Shawnee?
Yeah, like I say, I wouldn't even know where to go with this one. It's maybe the game that I'm almost least interested in. I'll go the opposite then. I'll go with Valencia. I'll say that Valencia get 2 away goals to Atlanta's 1. Valencia 2, Atlanta 1.
Okay, fair enough. Right. So that's our Champions League game. We're going to finish the last 3 just reviewing some of the key Europa League games. And the first one, I think, and hopefully Josh, you have a little bit of input, or a lot of input in this, is Olympiakos versus Arsenal. Olympiakos versus Arsenal. Obviously, Olympiakos at home first against the Arsenal team. Joshy, what do you think? Do you think that Arteta can go to Greece and get a result?
It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because if I think of teams recently who have changed their managers during a European season, so Man United's one of them. Obviously, they beat PSG. But that was sort of right before, so there's a bit of passion and emotion with that one. Napoli just did it. They sacked their manager once they got through the group to the knockout stages, so that'll be interesting as well. And obviously Arteta as well. He's a new manager going into a European campaign.
Olympiakos 3, Arsenal 0.
Who said that? Who said that?
Josh Comfort, Olympiakos 3, Arsenal 0. I mean,
can you ban people?
Is that what do you think about that, Sir Joshi? What do you think?
Can you ban people in the chat? Or
unfortunately, it's freedom of speech, isn't it? So can't really
is that how it is? Okay.
It's freedom of speech, so you have to sort
of.
So anyway. Why? So do you think Arsenal can do this then?
Can do what?
Beat Olympiakos in Greece.
I mean, as long as you score an away goal, that's all that matters. It doesn't really matter if you win the game. I know Greece is quite a hostile. The fans are absolutely mental. The ultras and everything they have over there. It'll be an interesting first test. Obviously, we've got a few injuries. Saka just got injured, who, interestingly enough, has probably become one of our most important players. Bukayo Saka, a 19-year-old. Because essentially, we play a back four with Xhaka as the holding midfielder with, Torreira, Guendouzi. But when we're on the attack, Xhaka, it turns into a back three with Xhaka and the other two defenders. And Bukayo Saka bombs forward and he links up with Martinelli or whoever is on that side. And then he basically turned into a wing back on attack. And then as he's coming back defending, Xhaka's there, but Saka's also quick enough to get back, when he needs to. And then you've also got Martinelli tracking back on that side. So he's become like an integral part of the team. And he's actually got 2 goals and maybe 2 assists in the Europa League, I think. So he's been a very important player for us. Arguably, him and Martinelli are being our most important players in the Europa League. Plus Mustafi, which is probably bandit to you guys, but Mustafi's been really good in the Europa League. Maybe it's his level. I don't know, because he was at Valencia. I think they did well in the Europa League not too far long ago. But yeah, so if Bukayo Saka's fit, that'd be good, because Kolasinac is injured, Tierney's injured, etc., etc., etc. We need him fit because that's where most of our play comes from, that left side. Credit to Bellerin as well, having that massive injury coming back.
So is this Arsenal's best chance of Champions League? Do you think Arsenal can get through this fixture time and push on deep into the Europa League stage?
Obviously, I mean, Unai Emery, we obviously, nobody really, when Unai Emery took us to the final, we were thinking, all right, we got this. And then we just didn't turn up in the final. And that was like arguably one of the hardest Europa League runs I've ever seen. We had Napoli, we had Eintracht Frankfurt, we had another team who were Valencia, was it? And I was like, and we were putting like 3-4 goals past these teams with the shirt show of like our team that we had before. So arguably we've got a better team now, better manager. Sort of same defense, but I think it's our best chance now. Now that we've got a team per se, I think it's a team wins titles. Individuals don't, and that's what we kind of relied on in the past. And I think we're looking more of a team now. So we just get through this. Hopefully, no issues, no injuries. That's the main thing. And I think we can go to the final. And hopefully get a decent draw. Could be like an Arsenal Inter final, but hopefully not.
Oh, okay, it's interesting.
Arsenal United final, maybe.
Yeah, well, So one of us is going to draw Inter. We know that.
Well, I'll talk about the next team in a second. I think people may be sitting on, but let's just quickly do a score prediction for this game. What do you think? So your way to Olympiakos. What do you think is going to happen?
I think 1-1, but I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I think my score prediction is probably going to be a little shocking, but I reckon Arsenal could, with their new revitalized form, they've got Aubameyang who can really hurt teams like this. Olympiakos not doing well at all, I don't think, at the minute.
Does Aubameyang want to be at Arsenal though? Is the question? That's the question,
Well,
so
I mean, if he wants a big move, then he has to put on a bit of a show. Because otherwise, big teams are not going to want him. So Europa might be a good platform for him to show and just say, look, I am aging, but I've still got it. Still got it in my locker.
It looks like, frankly, Barcelona are that desperate to sign a forward that they'll take anyone. Everyone was cussing, Igalo, for example, coming to United, but a lot of people forget that Barcelona actually bid for Igalo last season. So in the summer, so not many people know about that. So I think that, they seem to want an additional forward, additional striker from somewhere. So I wouldn't be surprised, especially with Suarez injured and not in his form, and a lot of other strikers being tied. Timo Werner is really the only one that comes to mind, to be honest. They might feel like they have to throw everything to get him, But I think that's a separate point. So let's just quickly move on. So I think the team that people are sitting on, but we should preview. and that's Wolves versus Espanyol. Wolves, as people forget, Wolves are still in the Europa League, and they're playing an Espanyol side who I think are
they smashed the last team. It was like 4-0.
Espanyol are, I think, are struggling in the league as well. I think that I think Wolves have got this. I mean, what do you guys think? I'll give this to you guys.
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
But it's the problem with Wolves, and this is the problem with Wolves, is Wolves, they're a frustrating team because they will set up well against the big teams, and then they will struggle against the small teams.
Yeah, I don't know if they treat Espanyol the same way though. I still think that they're going to be more than up for something like this. You can see
Espanyol are like bottom of the Liga. They are 20. That's where Espanyol are right now. They are actually at the bottom of the Liga.
Yeah, rock solid bottom of La Liga. I still think they treat it differently. They do treat the Europa differently. You can see that every single player was motivated to get that 4-0 result against it's not Espanyol, and this is going to be a different game. But you'd still think Wolves are going to turn up and think to themselves, "Look, we're in Europe." Have Wolves ever been in Europe in the history?
Possibly, but early 70s, possibly.
Yeah, right. Well, so it's been a long time, and you could just tell that the team is really, really up for it, really, really happy to be in that competition. They'd struggle against some of the lower teams in the Premier League. I think they'll treat this completely differently, and the players will have a completely different aura about them to just go and beat Espanyol there. And even Espanyol are going to be up for this. If they're rock solid bottom of La Liga, what have they got left? Yeah, might as well go all out. It's going to be a good game, but I think
that this is their best chance of getting Europa League, because as we said, like Wolves, the way they set up harms a lot of the bigger teams. And when I look at like Wolves right now, when I look at the other teams that are there, I don't think there's a massive difference between, like, say, a Wolves and an Ajax, or a Wolves and an Inter Milan, or Wolves and the way they set up. I don't think there is a big. If they set up well and knows what he's doing, then there's not that big of a. Essentially, what I'm saying is, like, Wolves could basically be a dark horse for the tournament. I think people should look at them as a dark horse.
With that. Brilliant team. I'm really looking forward to the tie and seeing how far Wolves can get. Definitely one of the main competitors in this league. And like I say, I think they'll be fine. Sorry.
No, I'm saying especially with Traore in that team. That Traore gives
Jimenez. Even like players that you don't really talk about much, like Neto and Moutinho doesn't get enough credit really. He's just a pivotal player to have for your team, and can really go and hurt you. I mean, Jimenez scored against Liverpool. We've kept a whole bunch of clean sheets before we went to Wolves, and then Jimenez smashed one in. Potentially could have had another couple of goals at Anfield if they played their cards right. So. Definitely can, and like I say, they treat the Europa League completely differently. They're all up for it. I think Wolves will just fly with this tie, and I think they're going to get quite far this season. And best of luck to them as well.
Fair enough. So score predictions. And then
Wolves at home. I'm going to go Wolves 2, Espanyol 0. No reply to the 2-0.
Yeah. What about you, Josh?
I'm the same.
Fine. Yeah, I don't think many people give Espanyol a chance in this game. I think Wolves will be too much. Right. Yeah. We're just going to review our final game before we end podcast. Thanks everyone who's been watching or will be watching so far. So, Sporting Braga versus Rangers. Sporting Braga versus Rangers. So, I think everyone can say that what Steven Gerrard has done with this Rangers. I think the Scottish Premier League is probably it's probably out of their grasp for now anyway. So, but I do think that what Brendan Rodgers has done with Rangers so far has been incredible. I think it's been incredible. So how do you guys see Rangers are at home first, so which gives them obviously a massive advantage from that point of view. How do you see this? How do you see this planning out, guys?
Mm-hmm. So Rangers, yeah, I think you said Brendan Rodgers and Steven Gerrard.
Sorry,
That's
Steven Gerrard.
yeah.
Why did I say that?
Yeah, it's all good. No worries. Yeah, so Steven Gerrard completely turned Rangers around. They got their derby win as well. Just recently they beat Celtic, which was just a huge result from. This was like a couple of weeks back, but still, a huge still a huge tie for them because it's Rangers, isn't it? It's not like they're the best team in Europe, but still they're gonna be rallied by Steven Gerrard. Steven Gerrard has a lot of European competition under his belt. He knows exactly what to say to the players in the dressing room. He's heard it all before. He's got the experience to just get them motivated, get that adrenaline pumping to get at them and get a result. I don't know whether they will get a result. Sporting Braga they are a quality team. I don't know whether this is evenly matched. Sporting Braga might just have a different kind of mentality, a little bit more experience. So see how it plays out. Obviously, I'm a big Steven Gerrard fan. Being a Liverpool fan, I'm a little bit biased towards Rangers, but I'd like to see Rangers go through this one.
Fair enough. Joshie, any last thoughts on this game?
Yes, it's a decent tie. It's not the worst. Rangers being away as well, that could be an advantage. All you need to aim for is one goal, then you have a chance. So I think Rangers are well within their rights. I think they could win this over 2 legs. But I think I'm going to give Braga, especially in Portugal, I give Braga 2-1 in this leg. Yeah. I do want Gerrard to win as well. He's done so well. Change that league.
Stevie, you get that result, son.
Yeah,
come on.
So. We're rooting for you, Stevie.
Right. Okay. So score predictions.
2-1 to Braga.
At Rangers, 1-0 to Rangers.
1-0 to Rangers. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. So that's it. Thanks everyone for basically getting involved and watching. So obviously we previewed about 7 or so Champions League games. We'll be doing the second half of this next week when we're reviewing the other half of the Champions League games, such will include Chelsea. Obviously, will be involved then City against Dortmund, which will be a tasty one amongst the United's game against Club Brugge as well. So stay tuned for that. But thanks everyone for listening and watching. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. It's bye from Old Man G and
bye from Joshie. I was waiting for him because he normally goes first.
Quite bad. Thanks very much, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Disagree with the thumbs down and all the Man United love that I saw here this evening. But what should I expect? So thanks very much for tuning in, guys. I'll catch you on next week.
Cool. Take care, everybody. Have a nice evening, guys. And cheers. Ending broadcast now.